All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to tackle a really common and super important home repair, fixing your Febco 765-1 backflow preventer. My goal here is to give you the confidence and the know-how to handle this yourself. Save a few bucks on a pro, and most importantly, keep your water system safe. So, does this site look a little too familiar? That constant, annoying drip? Or maybe it's even a steady leak coming from your backflow device? It's a super common problem, and it's basically the device's way of telling you that something needs attention. But before we get into the how-to, let's take a quick second to understand what this thing actually does. And that's our first stop. Because look, this isn't just another piece of plumbing. It is, quite literally, the guardian of your home's water supply. Understanding why it's there is key to appreciating why this repair is so important to get right. The whole idea behind it is actually pretty simple, but its job is absolutely vital. Think of a backflow preventer as a one-way street for your water. It's there to stop things like irrigation water, which could have pesticides, fertilizer, all sorts of gunk in it, from ever flowing backward and mixing with the clean, potable water you and your family drink. It's a critical public health device, and it's sitting right there in your yard. Okay, so to fix it, we've got to know its parts. Think of it like this. The check valves are like the bouncers at a club. They only let water flow in one direction. The relief valve is the emergency exit. It dumps water if it senses a pressure change that could mean there's a backflow risk. And the bell housing? Well, that's just the tough outer shell protecting all the important stuff inside. And honestly, most of the time, our repairs are going to focus on what's happening with those first two parts. All right, now it's time to play detective. Before we even think about picking up a wrench, we need to figure out what's actually going on. This next part is all about matching the symptom you're seeing with its most likely cause. This chart pretty much breaks it all down. If you've got water constantly running out of it, chances are there's a little bit of debris, like sand or grit, stuck in that relief valve, preventing it from sealing properly. Just seeing an occasional drip, that usually points to a worn-out seal. If you have no water flow at all, well, it could just be a blockage or a shutoff valve that's closed. And if a pro tells you it failed a backflow test, the problem is almost definitely inside one of those check valves. So use this as your starting point to diagnose the issue. Okay, so we've got a good idea of what the problem might be. But hold on. Before we do anything else, we have to talk about the single most important part of any DIY job: preparation. Getting your safety gear and your tools in order, well, it's totally non-negotiable for a successful fix. Seriously, follow these 3 steps every single time. First, shut off the water. Just turn those valves clockwise till they stop. Next, and this is so important, please don't skip it, you have to relieve the pressure in the system. You can do that by slowly opening the little test cocks. Even with the water off, there's pressure trapped in there. And finally, get your gear on. Safety glasses and gloves are an absolute must. With safety sorted, let's grab our tools. You'll need some basics, like an adjustable wrench and some pliers, but the most critical item on this list is that genuine Febco repair kit. Trust me on this. Using the official parts, especially the new O-rings and seals from the kit, is the best way to make sure your repair actually lasts and the device works like it's supposed to. Okay, we're safe, we're prepped, we've got our tools ready to go. It is time for the main event. We're going to walk through this whole repair, step by step, breaking it down into simple, easy stages. You've totally got this. First up, we got to get inside this thing. Start with a clean spot to lay everything out so you don't lose any parts. Now, grab your wrench and start working on those cover bolts. You might need to be a little patient here. They can get kind of stuck from corrosion. Once they're loose, you can carefully lift off that bell housing. And that's it. You're looking right at the heart of the device, the check valves and the relief valve. And just like that, we're in. With that bell housing off, you can see all the internal components. Now's a great time to just take a second and look for anything obvious, maybe some debris, a cracked seal, or clear signs of wear. This is your chance to confirm what our troubleshooting chart pointed to. Now let's get in there and fix it. So this process is going to cover most of the common problems. You're going to carefully take out the valve assembly you think is the culprit. Take a really close look at it. See any gunk, mineral deposits? Are the seals cracked or worn out? Use a soft brush to gently clean everything up. And if a seal or O-ring looks bad, swap it out with a new one from your repair kit. Then just carefully put it all back together, making sure everything is lined up perfectly to get a nice tight seal. As we're putting this all back together, it's worth keeping this quote in mind. We're not just stopping a pesky drip here. We are doing a critical job to protect our clean water. That's a pretty big responsibility, which brings us perfectly to our final and really crucial section.
So, when is it time to put the wrench down and just pick up the phone? Hey, knowing your limits isn't a failure. It is a smart, responsible decision that makes sure the job gets done right and your water stays safe.
Here are your clear signals, your big red flags. If you do the repair and the leak comes right back, it's time to call a pro. If a certified tester keeps telling you it's failing, there's probably a deeper issue. If you see actual cracks in the main body of the device, that's a definite call for help. And maybe the most important one, if at any point you just feel unsure or out of your depth, that is the perfect time to call in an expert.
And this is a big one. In a lot of places, the law actually requires a certified technician to test and officially sign off on these devices after a repair. So even if you can replace a seal perfectly, you might still need a pro to come out and certify it's working correctly. Always, always check your local codes to make sure you're staying compliant.
So, you did it. The repair is done, the leak is gone, and your device is working perfectly. But the job isn't quite over. The real question is, what's your plan for next year? All the experts will tell you that annual maintenance is the absolute key to preventing these problems in the first place. A simple inspection and cleaning once a year can keep this guardian of your water in perfect shape for years to come. And that proactive step, that's the ultimate DIY win.